So it's the day after the bike jumble, and I've got to sort through all of this and put it away. And after getting home late last night at 12 o'clock, I'm pretty sure I just want to throw it all in the shed and call it a day. But at least we can take a look at what we got that day, what we bought, and what we got for free. Putting things away shouldn't be too much of a problem, because I keep everything in these organised categoric boxes. Some with bars, some with shifters, grips, pedals, brakes. You name it, there's a box with it in. I did originally start by buying and selling bicycles, fixing them up and moving them on. And then I realised there was a better market for just shifting parts. So the bikes that I bought, instead of doing them up and selling them, I stripped them for parts and moved the parts on. And I moved the frames, the wheels and the tyres, so there wasn't really any waste. Luckily for all of us, Marlon's bike jumble was not the last jumble of the year. And for those of you who live in my area of Norfolk or even Norwich, this will spike your interest even more, because the next jumble is on November the 2nd in Norwich. I'll stop there. The jumble is on the 2nd of November in Norwich. I'll leave the poster here. There's also a group ride before the jumble. I'll leave the poster here. Ran by Slow You Down and Lazy Velo, a group ride that I did a couple of videos ago. So there's actually a group ride in the morning, followed by a jumble in the afternoon. Of course I'm going to be going and filming the entire day, but I'll definitely be there. So make it your chance to be there for the last jumble of the year. And in other news, we have finally organised my second group ride. Yes, that's right, stay tuned, Second Gear is ready and coming out on the 20th of December. That means we've got the group ride of all of you guys, the fans and the subscribers and people in the Norfolk and Norwich area, coming down on the 20th of December, which is a Saturday, which just so happens to be my birthday. More information will come to follow. I'll do a video based on just that, as to what to expect. There will be tasks and challenges and rewards. There's also going to be a pizza party at the end of the day, stopping at the pub that we finished at last time. So make sure you've got the 20th of December booked off. More to come about that another time. Now it's suddenly got really rainy and cold and wet out here, so I'm not going to do the reveal of the parts that I bought from Marlon's Jumble out here because it's cold and rainy and miserable. So we're going to go inside into my house, go over to where I do my vintage sale stuff. It might be a little bit echoey, so I've attached a mic, so let's see how it goes. Right, so welcome to the vintage station. So this is my Lazy Susan where I sometimes put parts. And I take pictures of it with Raleigh rides in the back. The vintage store has been closed for a bit because I still haven't been bothered to work out what I have sold and what I haven't sold from Marlon's Jumble. So give me some more time and that will be sorted out and it will go back up live again. I might start thinking about doing a website. Might be a little bit different. So let's have a look at what we got. Starting off with what we bought. Again, don't get upset if you didn't see these bargains or you think I'm lying, because they are stupidly cheap. Right, so first up on the agenda is this. Yes, I thought so too. One of these modern kind of Brooks saddles, sort of the resin plasticky base, for £1. Matthias actually saw this, so cameraman Matthias, he actually saw that and told me to go over and get it. So it's a C17, but that's not where the bargain hunting finished. I actually managed to get two C17s for £1 each. So £2 on those. Yeah, they're a little bit roughed up, but who cares for £1? For £1, man. The rails are fine, everything's fine. I've never really sat on one of these before, but now's a time to go for it. So we got two Brooks C17 saddles for £2. This is roughly working in order. So the next thing I got after that is a pair of handlebars like these. Oh. So these are sort of gravelly type bars. I don't know what they are. I don't know who they're made by. But these are the sort of bars I was looking for a future build. So that I can have them kind of like this and kind of like an aero position as well. I don't know. I'll work it out. But I paid £10 for those. Like I say, there's no real markings on it as to who made it. Oh, they're just bar ends and they're odd anyway. So that was a tenner, so that's 12 quid. Squiddlies. What else did I buy? I didn't pay much money for much things. Here we go. Right, so for those of you who might know me personally, know I have a weird addiction to Shimano 324 SPD pedals. These things. I paid £5 for these. They work really nicely. They work really nicely. I'll just show you what I mean. So when I say I really like them, I bought a set brand new in the box just to keep brand new in the box, just because I like it. So I put that on my shelf in the house, in the living room, funnily enough. Yes, I'm allowed bike parts in the living room. Maybe I'll show that area. Maybe in the end of the video I'll show you my cool stash in my living room of bike parts. But there's some bike projects there, so maybe if this gets enough likes, yeah, I'll do that YouTube thing. If this video gets enough likes, I'll show you all the parts and projects that are ahead of time. Oh, I paid £5 for those. £5. Next. Right, now I got some stems. Let's put those. Just got a couple of different stems. I think I paid £5 for the 3. Those are just nice to have. Just nice to have a couple of different stems laying about. Nice to have some short uprise ones. That one's particularly nice because it's quite retro. I quite like that. Then there's just whatever this thing is. Oh, race face one. Bargain. £5 for the 3. I bought them for. This stuff probably isn't going up for sale. It's all just stuff for me to keep and use on future projects. Right, moving on to what I got for free. There's one other thing, but it won't fit on there right now. These are things I got for free. Just a pretty cool looking basic ATB handlebar. Nothing fancy. A free one. Another handlebar, a Zoom handlebar, brand new in the packet. Quite high rise, in black. I don't know, would be good for like Brompton style, because it's a little bit narrow. But I'm not going to say no to that. Next we've got another handlebar. I quite like that. It's got a nice stem. Luckily none of the bolts or anything are stripped, because sometimes you'll find the bolts are shot in them. But that's quite a nice retro style handlebar. Again, free. This one I quite liked. I can use that for a swept back bike, but they are cut down, annoyingly. Doesn't matter too much because I'm used to narrow bars. Free. This is an old Raleigh derailleur, or derailleur, however you want to say it, derailleur. Nothing too special, but maybe something for my parts wall. Something cool to have. I don't know if it works, I'm assuming it works. Pretty cool. Next we've got a Cannondale seat post. It's a 27.2 by 350mm, so it's quite a decent size one. I got this, a Selle Italia S5, is it? Yeah, S5 saddle. Nothing too special, maybe good for Mia to have. Now these two are pretty cool, bearing in mind I got them for free and they're in the packet. This one is a Raintail. So it's actually made for the Selle Italia Turbo saddles. If you remember, I had a red Selle Italia Turbo saddle that I got from Cambridge a while back in the Cambridge Bike Barns video. And this actually, if you can tell by this picture there, it actually slots underneath, and this end piece here clicks into that big gap there. And it says on there, rain tail. So technically you grab it and pull it out and it extends. So it's an extendable mudguard for a Selle Italia turbo saddle. Pretty cool. Secondly, this is probably the coolest thing. For those of you who know, you know. A shark fin original in the packet. Annoyingly, it's red. So for those of you who don't know, it goes on your chainstay sort of area along there. From what I am aware of, it's so that if your chain kind of derails, if you kind of carry on pedaling a little bit, it scoops it back up on this and it guides it back onto the chain pretty much. Onto the chain ring, sorry. Probably. I've probably got it completely wrong, but it's cool to have one brand new in the packet. So maybe not that, but that's gonna probably go on my personal shelf. Now, I'll show you what I bought, but I paid £70 for. There's 3 different items, and it was all 70 quid for all 3 of them. It's a proper bargain. Again, don't get upset if you think, oh, you didn't pay that much. I did. That's the bargains that they had. If you watch the Bike Junble video, you'll see they did have this cheaper products. Let me just show you. So for £70, I got one Brooks frame bag that goes on your top tube, plus, this is all included in the £70, plus another frame bag that goes underneath the top tube, like that, and a Brooks handlebar roll bag. That's the sort of thing that rolls up like this and you put things inside it, like, I don't know, a sleeping bag or something maybe. All the matching sort of colour, all for just £70. Proper bargains. The sort of stuff that we want. It will be interesting to see if we get this kind of bargains at the Norwich bundle, at the Norwich Bike Junble, but obviously Brooks isn't going to be there, but it'll be nice to see what sort of stuff we get from there. So I'll do a haul video, maybe on the same video. This one was going to be a bit longer because there was a lot more to explain. I got a lot of stuff here for not a lot of money. There's one other item, but I'll probably keep that for another video. It's quite large. What a haul. If you think I did good, give us a thumbs up. If there's anything in here you particularly want, by all means, give me a message or comment. Apart from the Brooks stuff, I'm probably going to keep all the Brooks stuff, and I'll probably keep that. The rest is probably up for grabs if you're really desperate for it. But yeah, thank you ever so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!